wonderbar, wonderbar.
Chin chin. Did you make it home all right? I saw you just a few hours ago.
Yes, I made it home. I did overtime tonight. It was a bit late leaving.
Good.
So got home. Liz actually made me pizza, which was good.
That's good.
Yeah, and now I'm home, and here we are.
Was it nice to be a kept man for a day?
It was. It was an unusual treat.
Good. I like it. I hope we don't see you running off in half an hour's time to that toilet to.
No, I've already done that.
That sounds like my bowel movement. So, otherwise, how have you been? Have you had a good week? Another week's rolled by. Another week nearer to being out of lockdown.
Fantastic week, mate. Fantastic week. Obviously, we got quite a bit done last week, so that was good. And this week has already started well, I would say. What about yourself?
Very good day today. Yeah, awesome. It's got a bit colder again, isn't it, at the minute? But we've managed to get some stuff achieved, which is really good. Lots of plans starting for the racing and stuff. We were rolling through with Mr. Rumble today as well, which is fantastic to feel like we're getting on to all of that. Quite a bit of track work to come, new bits to install and traffic light system, and yeah, lots going on really. It's getting excited. I can feel the excitement building. We're getting towards going racing.
Yeah, man. Me too. Yes. It's going to be good. It's going to be good this summer.
Are we online before we get into any beer reviews? Are we online?
We're definitely online. My YouTube has still had a move around. I don't know why. It's like it updated literally like halfway through last time's stream, whereas like the comments are now underneath the main.
Okay.
I don't know.
Good Lord. Let's hope that we get a full streaming. We think we found the error that I'd made in why we lost the stream for the last couple of weeks in a row at a certain time. So we'll find out today if we manage to make it all the way through. We've got quite a good show today in terms of news on items and things, which is good. We'll get into those a little bit later on. Yeah. Firstly, what are you drinking?
So, keeping up with tradition, as we are now, pretty much the same level of alcohol critique as we are racing.
Is that poor?
Yeah, just shit. Yeah. It's another new one.
It's not for the lack of trying, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's another new one. It's something I haven't tried before. I actually bought it as a present. I haven't actually been to Aldi tonight.
Wow.
So here it is.
What is that? Cider.
Ooh. Yeah. Aspel Suffolk Premium Crew Cider. I mean, I don't know if they've just forgot how to spell in Suffolk. Not really sure.
Have you checked the percentage of that? Or do we need to be worried about later in the show?
There's going to be some very strange sentences coming out of my mouth. That's 6.8%.
If you go and cut the arms off your t-shirt so it turns into a wife beater, we'll be
So here we go. We've opened it. It smells good actually. It doesn't smell that strong. It's a nice bottle. It's very French.
I almost felt like you were passing that to me to sniff. Then I was gonna lean forward and show everybody my bogies. It's probably not a good idea. Maybe.
That's quite good.
Jesus.
That's quite nice, that.
Is it?
That's a good bit of tipple, a good bit of cider. I don't drink cider that often. If I do, it's normally like some fruity version.
You know, we started this and we had like nice wine glasses and we were drinking wine and everything else. We're now both drinking beer cider from a bottle. Is that strange or what's happened?
Next week, I am getting White Lightning out, mate. Big 3-litre bottle.
Just keep going down the scale. I like it.
So cheers.
Brown bags to the ready. We can actually use some DHL parcel bags, couldn't we, to hold it into, because we've got some of them. That'd be free.
Yes, yeah, that'd be good. I reckon we'd do well. We would
good health. Yes. So, should we do some Leroy shout-outs at the start?
We'll do some shout-outs. We've already got 10 thumbs up. Like, we haven't even asked.
Very nice. Thank you.
Begged for any. We've got a thumb down, which is good.
Thank you.
So here we go. Let's go from the top. We're going from the top. Tortoise Racing RC. He says, "Good evening, campers." Or no campers, as we're not allowed.
No, good evening, no campers.
Robert Glenn, he's online. He says, "Hey fellas, out here having practice day with his A215T. I wonder if he's at Thornhill."
Nice. Yeah. Are you at Thornhill, Rob? Let us know.
obviously we'll talk about Thornhill in a bit, but they are all practicing today. I was just looking through their practice times.
Yes. Did you see that Brock got down to a 33.1?
I did.
That is rather rapid.
He's getting there. He's definitely getting there. I was trying to text Billy, and I was going to throw my advice over, but he's not responded.
I think that's because they're busy. They're busy cruising out some nitro.
Yes, but Robert, give him a kick up the arse and tell him that he can respond.
We love him.
So there we go. Andy B is online, of course, and I'm sure a joke's coming up.
Hopefully so.
He says, "Evening, gentlemen. Getting this in early as it took some typing. An Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman sitting in a bar.
Yes.
Englishman raises his glass of ale and says, 'Here's to my son George. We named him George because he was born on St. George's Day.' The Scotsman raises his dram of whiskey. 'Here's to my son Andrew, named as such because he was born on St. Andrew's Day.' The Irishman raises his Guinness and exclaims, 'Feck me, what a coincidence. It's exactly the same for me and my son Pancake.'"
Very good.
Very, very good. Big Si is online. He says, "Robert Glenn, how's practice going?" So you can talk to Rob. David Roll is online. Evening.
Davey boy.
Kev Brunson is online. Do you know who Kev Brunson is?
I think so. I think he was all right once upon a time.
Yeah.
Remember the name?
I think the one day he realised he could re-reverse his steering is when it all went downhill. Kev, Claire and Elise are there, of course. So hi, guys.
Awesome.
Craig Homer is online. He says, "Good evening, Meghan and Harry and Oprah." Whoops, wrong show.
Yeah, it's probably the same amount of cinematic quality as those bunch of monkeys, but we try.
We try. Nathan Allen's online. He says, "Evening, everyone." Evening to him. Martin Hart is online.
Hey, action man.
Sarah Campbell says, "Evening all," from Sarah and
Craig.
Chris James.
That's 2 weeks in a row I've got it right.
You have. Chris James online. Guess who Chris is with?
Maliki.
Maliki.
I obviously knew, but I just wanted to get it right, and I still got it wrong, so sorry.
Yeah, but it depends if you actually want to get it properly right or not.
It's because I normally hear you go Maliki, and then I'm not sure which one's actually the correct one.
It's actually Malike.
Oh, okay. I'll be in the corner.
Yeah, don't put baby in the corner.
No.
So they're chiming in. Maliki will probably swear and say rude things in the background. That's because she's looking at you, Chris. Yayan is online. He says, "Yo, yo, yo, what's poppin'?" I think he thinks he's in Texas.
Good. Be nice if we were.
Duncan Horler is online.
Hey.
You're going to make Duncan jealous because you were flying a special thing around the track today.
I was trying to do some FPV chase footage that we can do some stuff with Leroy. First effort. It came back in one piece, so I'm going to take that as a success.
A win. Duncan actually has a question for Rumble.
Okay.
Please, can you say when you should use underdrive and when you shouldn't? Oh.
Let's add it to the questions with Martin, Mumble, and Monkey, which is going to be coming up later.
Martin, Mumble, and Monkey, and it's a very on-topic question, I would say, from today.
It was, yeah. We were doing some stuff with that today. So,
yeah. Duncan, you read our minds, or you hacked into our computer system, and you're a bit of a perv.
That must be
Matthew Bentley is online. He says, "Hi, boys and girls." Matthew Bentley has been talking to me a lot on Facebook. Seems like a lovely, lovely chap. So, hey, nice. Matt, thanks for tuning in. Lyndon Hammer, he's online. Guess where he's from?
The Don. The Don is from heaven.
Okay, heaven.
Or Devon.
Does he feel like heaven to touch?
Blimey. Yes.
Okay, good. Ben Johnson is online, or Johannesson. Sorry, mate. It looked like Johnson quick until I reread it. He says, "Hi all." So, hi, Ben.
Good evening, Ben.
Martin Walters online. He says, "Evening." Marcus Butler, he's online. He says, "Good evening, fellas. The new bits look great."
Yes, and we're going to come to those shortly in our news. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yaz is online. He says, "Evening, guys." Evening, Yaz. Big Sigh, he says, "Good evening, chaps." Option RC, he said, "Couple of hunks right there." So he must be at some kind of special bar.
Yes, indeed. Is it blue, and do they serve oysters?
No, it's definitely purple.
Oh, I know. Yes.
Matthew Stenhouse online says, even guys, not evening, he says even guys from the Stenhouse family. So hi to Caden and Vic too.
Good evening.
Olivia is online. He says, hello
Yeah.
guys from the French team. So
bonsoir, Olivier. Do you know what? As you to interrupt your thing, isn't it going to be awesome to see some of these guys again soon?
Yep.
I'm looking
Can't
forward
wait.
to that. Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to going away racing again. It's going to be a mega. Scott Follington, he said online, he says, good evening, geezers. Arvinder is online, he says, evening, lads. Better to watch you guys than Megan's interview.
It must be, is it online now or something? Is it being aired at the moment?
I don't think it was coming to the UK, but I guess there's some ways
to toe with the ex-Royals.
Yeah, well, hopefully everyone tunes into us and don't worry about all that rubbish.
Exactly.
Chris Foster is online. He said, evening, guys. Evening, Chrissy boy.
I might have a beer issue. Like I might run out. These are really nice.
You go through it.
I have a reserve.
Yeah, I'm going to be going on to the harder stuff once I finish with this 7%.
Good
Lord. Aged UK RC racer says, evening, gents. Evening. John Glasbrook is back, and he's learned how to take caps lock off.
Glazer, get that caps lock back on. It doesn't feel right unless you're shouting at us.
And he says, even more aged ex-UK racer.
Yeah.
He's not ex-racer, though, is he? He's still going?
I think he's having like a foot in and a foot out. I'm not quite 100% sure. But Johnny Boy dips in and out. That's his thing. I think he's got some good GT8 cars at the moment. I think he's enjoying that. So.
Well, he's still racing, so he's not an ex-racer.
Exactly.
Mr. Warburton is online. He says, bonsoir, mes amis.
Bonsoir.
Olivier. Cider is not alcohol.
No comment.
Trust me, it is. If you do the cider festival next to our house, it better be alcohol or someone spiking me.
or this show in about half an hour's time when that 9% hits.
Yeah. But at least he spelt it like these guys do.
Sidra. Good.
Winston Barnett is online. He says, what's up, fellas? Option RC says, where is the Chateauneuf de Pape, John?
I don't know. As I say, it's budget cuts. I tried to get it through, but I was told no.
He said, you've changed.
No budget left.
No budget. Ben Johannesson says 2020. Nathan Allen, get on the Trampagne Lamborghini. I haven't had that for I haven't fed a girl that for many years.
Lord.
Craig Homer says 3 litres can't even buy Coke in 3 litre bottles anymore. No, you can't. Well, you could, but the sugar tax probably makes it £100.
Yes.
Gary Kirkwood says, evening, chaps. I'm going to rush through a little bit just to get down to the bottom.
Good.
RC Racing says, do you think driving style has changed in the last 10 years? Maybe that's a question for later.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So let me know. Okay. Yeah, you carry on with that, and I'll add that to the list.
Derek McCloskey says, hello.
Boy.
Hello, Derek. Mr. Lil Chili.
I'm looking forward to seeing Derek as well. I always enjoy an evening beer with Derek when we go to whatever it was, EOS and stuff.
Dawn and stuff. Yeah. 100%. He normally ends up at some local establishment, and you'll see him again at 7 a.m, looking like he's absolutely fine. He's a bit of an enigma.
Well, as long as he hasn't got lipstick on when he comes from this establishment, he's probably all right.
He might have it somewhere. Mr. Lil Chili says, hey, gents from Maryland. So cheers.
Good evening. Thanks for tuning in.
Jonesy Cram is online, and he told me tonight that I have to stop playing with my hair.
Wow. Well, you got your cap on, so we should be all right.
I know. I reckon it gets Sam a bit overexcited.
Oh, what happens? The cap comes off, and then you play with it. And
right.
I'm taking talking about hair. I'm taking a hair supplement at the minute. You think I look like I've got more hair?
No. It may be. I mean, it just looks like you haven't shaved it, I'd say.
Yeah, it feels a bit more fluffy.
Yeah. Eyebrows.
Yes, exactly.
Adam Hall says, evening, guys. Deep Set Design says, evening. The Peter Gray says, hello, lads. Hello, Peter. Sylvan is online. He says, hi, guys.
Hello, buddy.
Bonjour. I'm teaching James lots of different languages at the moment, so almost every other day we get a bonjour or an hola.
Nice.
Brian Burrows says, evening, lads. Matt Bentley says, why isn't there a top driver like Lewis Hamilton who wins all the time and takes world championships year after year? So another question for later.
Okay.
Just write Matt Bentley and we'll remember it.
Okay.
Tim Simpson says, John in his B.A. Baracus outfit. And you don't like getting on no planes.
I don't like getting on no planes. Yes. And I have been known to say fool a few times.
Yeah. And you pitied him.
Yes, I pity the fool.
Chris James says, Miliki just lost her shot, I guess shit, over her name. Over the name. Well, she should have got an easier name. Tim Simpson says, good evening, by the way. Chris James says, he's literally crying with laughter over here. Luke Bennett says, evening.
Good. Evening, Lukey boy.
Every time I almost catch up, more people say hello.
Good.
Duncan says, well done on the FPV. I'm up for having a go at filming for you. Yes, Duncan, we are going to put you to the test.
Perfect. Yes.
Daria says, hello, Nemos. So hello, Daria. Deep Set Design says, any pick on how the 6-mic carb spring fits? No, but we can get one. Option RC says, the Purple Beast will be coming with me at the end of the month and it won't be leaving with me, he hopes.
Good Lord.
Jack
Heard it here first.
Online says, good evening. Kong McKenzie is online. He says, hope we're well. Hope you're well too. Ben Kennett is online. Ben, the question you asked me over the weekend, I think we sorted that, didn't we?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Stephen Lockley says, evening, guys, from Zach and family. So evening to you. Ivan Bingham says, when's the special edition cars coming out? We'll talk about that later, I'm sure.
Oof, giving it away. It's giving away the secrets.
Yeah, Brian Burrows says, if you want some proper cider, I can bring some of it Easter. Yep, and I'm sure we'll drink it for a carrot. Benjo Hannison says, is there going to be any updates on a 215T center diff? Alan from Israel says, hello and good evening. Good evening, man. Go with the best hair in RC. Maybe you can give some to John. Gavin says, evening, guys. And Sylvain says, en français, salut, les gars. So
it's very nice to see some of our French friends online.
Now my voice hurts.
That was a good shout out.
That was shout outs, and it took like 20 minutes.
Which is very good. It has meant that I've actually drunk my Peroni, which is disappointing, but I think I need to stick to one.
Right.
And you need to stick to Aldi specials by the sound of your cough already.
Yeah.
So what have we got then? So in the world of Nemo, in the last week, there's been lots of bits and pieces going on actually. So we've had some new parts arrive, which I think you guys did a nice video on today. Should we have a go at playing the video? I've got some new things lined up on this stream, so this is probably going to go wrong. I'm going to momentarily hide yourself and hide myself. I'm going to throw in a video on our two new parts.
Sounds good.
So say goodbye, driver, for a moment. I'm going to hide you.
Bye.
Right, so that was an easy way to get rid of Leroy. No, I'm only joking. Okay, so here we go.
Hi, Lee Martin from NemoRacing, and I wanted to introduce you to a couple of new products we've got coming out this week. Firstly, if we look here, we have the new center top plate. This is very, very beautiful piece. The brake cams now run on bearings, very, very smooth. It's also extremely tough, obviously here with the LMR balls. Also nice, you can just clamp it straight down onto the existing plastic diff mounts and you have no issues and it will never get caught or get tight. So wonderful, nice little piece that. Also we move across, we now have 17.5 degree caster blocks. So same as the plastic items that come in the kit, now we have the aluminium 17.5 degree options, which we find absolutely optimum for most conditions. So perfect, two great little products. Hopefully you like them, and thanks for watching.
Let's hope that worked.
I mean, I'm watching it obviously a few seconds behind, and it looks good. And you're in the corner, so you could have even commentated over it.
Well, I nearly did a Mooney in there, but I thought I better not. I better behave myself. I couldn't make myself completely disappear, but that worked quite well. I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah.
So, two new parts. Obviously, caster block, 17.5 degree in alloy. What do you find the benefits of this part, Mr. Martin?
I mean, I think 17.5 is probably our most preferred amount of caster, I would say.
Yep.
So it only made sense that when we were going to make an aluminium one, we made it with our most popular item, which is 17.5, which obviously the kit comes with, but it's plastic, and a lot of people like to upgrade to Ali.
Yeah.
Ali, apart from the obvious part of being stronger, also does make the car slightly more reactive, I would say. But ultimately, it's a pretty much a fit and forget item. You know, you can trust it's not going to break, and it's a very nice bit of kit. So, yeah, that's that.
All of those. I think, you know, with the 319, it's certainly like on the older car, on the SV, we used to run 16 degree quite often, and I think on the 319, inherently we've got slightly more initial steering anyway, which allows us to run that slightly higher cast and standard 17.5 as well. I think that you get the best overall performance on that 17.5 block, but in a big crash, you can break that plastic part. So I think, yeah, like you're saying, you get that added security of running the alloy part. You're never going to break one of those. They're as strong as anything. It also lets you get a little bit more lock as well. I think, doesn't it? You can lean onto the stops a little bit more, I think, than with the plastic one. And yeah, it's kind of a fit and forget item really, and one that you can move from car to car as well, because they last so well with that 70-75. They just, you know, they'll outlast the car really, won't they?
Yeah.
To the next one. So yeah, but good part that. It's been a while coming. To be fair, we used to have some different options available for the S3 range, but it is an expensive part, and I think it's right to have, you know, what we find in almost every scenario to be the right block, which is the 17.5 degree. It's the only one that you need to buy. So for right now, I think it's an awesome choice. And then onto that top plate, that's just awesome. That part that needs to be everybody's car, really, I think.
Yeah, it's a really nice piece. With the bearings on the cams, it makes them super nice, super free.
Yep.
You never get any binding. It never sticks on or does anything funny. Also, for me, I saw Olivia said I don't run the aluminium diff mounts. No, I run the plastic one. I think they work great. And now with this Ali centerpiece, before you had to be a bit careful when you were doing the screws up, didn't you? But now you can just clamp it down. It never binds up. It's just a really nice bit of kit, to be honest.
Yeah, another fit and forget item that will last forever in a country day. So you can move it when you refresh your cars for the following year or whatever. You can just move that piece across, and it looks cool. So at the end of the day, we all like stuff that looks cool.
Yes,
you need one.
You do. You need one in your life.
I'm somewhere. There is a little bit of my voice coming back. I don't know whether it's from me or from you.
I can't do anything about that. All I can do is turn the sound off.
It's the voices in the head. Normally after 2 Peronis, they stop. So I need to probably have a 3rd Peroni, and then the voices in my head will stop. It's really not very nice. So next new item, I believe you have there with you.
I do.
So finally, we got around to doing what we'd spoken about a little while ago, and we have made a first aid pack that you can buy, and it's going to be listed tomorrow. And you get a sample of bits and pieces in the kit. Tell us what you get in the first aid kit.
So,
some cable ties.
First of all, we'll show them how cool it looks.
Hey.
Look at this. And it's a nice, proper, I'd say, you know, suits. If Nemo, head and shirt there.
Looks good.
Really nice zip bag. It's just easy to chuck in anything. Plus, we like our nice fancy things, don't we?
You can carry your stuff and still be tough. I know that Mr. Truman's planning on keeping his wallet and his sandwiches and other various bits that he needs when he goes into Banbury at night.
Yep, 100%. And as you can see in there, it's going to come with a range of bits and pieces.
I
can tell you what they are.
Tell us what's in the first aid pack, and then I'll tell you what the price is going to be.
So you're going to get a set of rear suspension arms.
Yep.
So same as the kit, but a set of rear arms just in case you ever have any issues with them. You're going to get a set of front suspension arms, but they're going to be hard.
Good shout.
So set of hard arms. The kit comes with soft. This way you can choose either you have hard or soft on the car, and then you always have the other one as backup.
Good shout. Yeah, I like it.
It's going to come with some shock cap bushes, a set. So, you know, it's just a changeable item. They do wear.
Yep. Or fall on the floor when you take your shocks off and then you can't find them.
Yeah, happens a lot. Yep. It's going to have wing mounts because some people break wing mounts. Unfortunately, it happens. CJ can tell you all about it.
No.
We also have shock ends. It's going to come with 2 shock ends. Obviously, a kit will come with 4, so we're breaking that kit down. You're going to get 2 because generally you won't need many spares, so it's nice to have 2 in the box.
Yep.
It's going to come with 1 front shock shaft and one rear shock shaft. So in case of a big crash,
yeah,
likelihood is you're going to do one in, not two. So it's going to come one of each. It's going to come with one hinge pin. When you break an arm, maybe you might bend a hinge pin, so it's always good to have one in your box.
yeah.
It's going to come with 2 flange nuts, again, for the reason you're going to drop them on the floor when you're taking the shocks on and off. It's going to come with 2 body clips, because how many people lose body clips?
Need a body clip in a rush. Yeah, exactly.
Everyone. It's going to come with 2 clutch bearings, because you just never know. It's going to be in the box. A lot of people like to use their own clutch bearings, but it's always good to have an emergency set. And then it's going to come with this beautiful bag, and we'll probably throw some cable ties in there as well, because you always need a cable tie.
And a couple of stickers, all for the princely sum of £70. I think that's a good shout, a really, really good shout. You can jump into the brand, or even if you're already with the brand, grab one of those first aid kit. You've got all the bits and pieces that you're likely to need if you have a massive crash, and then a little bit of maintenance as well, like the shock caps, your clutch bearings and stuff like that. Yes, bones. Cool. Hopefully you're going to like that idea. Something that was done a very long time ago by a French company, actually, and so we've nicked it a little bit and revamped it. So there we go. That's going to be the first aid pack for a 319. That's going to be listed tomorrow. Like we said, it's going to have a retail price of £7.
Yeah, and it's going to come with a nice little box, which we don't have yet. Otherwise, I was going to make it up. But a nice little box which keeps all the little parts in it. So your little nuts and body clips and clutch bearings, it's all going to be in a nice little box. So literally, you can take that and
go racing.
95% of the time, you're going to be absolutely fine with just this. So
yeah, I mean, hopefully, like, with the ethos of what we do, you're going to have us around at the races, or you're going to have Option RC, or you're going to have RCP as well that you can lean on. But if you're going to a track or you're going to something, grab that pack with you, and you're going to be covered if you have a big one, and you won't be going home. Fix your shit and carry on.
Yeah,
nice. So, what else have we got new? I think that's it, isn't it? Really, I don't think we've got anything else new, have we? Well, actually, we have. We have got a new thing. Let's see if I can throw this up into the stream. Wait for a minute or 3 for it to come up for you. Let me know when you can see it, Leroy, and I'll start talking.
Okay, it's going to be. We have to wait for it to come up over there.
Yes. Tick tock, tick tock.
Tick tock goes the clock.
I'm going to check my Insta, like the cool kids do. No one's messaged me again.
Sorry, mate.
It's okay. I can look at it.
While we are waiting for this picture to come up, just give us a thumbs up. Why not?
Me or the crowd?
Everyone.
Good. We're up to 20. So there's a picture of a very nicely sprayed body shell up there, and what that is actually masking is our 2021 release, which is the 319 Performance in both Nitro and e-buggy. So
some mad stuff. Carry on.
This is exactly. So this is imminent. It's due probably the first week of April, around that sort of time. We'll be taking pre-orders coming very shortly for this. And what this is a combination of all of the things that we think are absolutely what you should have on a car. This is a proper spec'd out, top of the pops, as good as it gets, 319. So it comes with all of the parts that should be on your screen coming up shortly, which is the beta wing, which makes a very big difference. The largest upgrade that we have on this is all new gearing. So this has got the different gearing for the center. Actually, for the center, it's different. Center, front, and rear with the 1343. That will. Well, in our testing, you're going to love it. It's going to feel very similar to your normal car. You're going to have slightly more mid steering, and you're going to see a lap time decrease. It's an absolute winner. We've been testing it for quite a long time, probably 6 months or more now, in various cars at different points, and it just pulls so well out of the corners. It almost feels like you're driving an underdriven car with that gearing. You can still run the underdrive in this gearing as well. So if you've already got the underdrive pack, you can still do that and still use that in this pack as well. So I think that's one of the biggest changes with the car. It also comes with the very nice one-piece stiffener that runs from the center diff to the engine mount. Comes with the hardened diff cases, which is the best I've ever seen in the industry. And the whole time I've been involved, they just don't leak. They're absolutely super. They're a fantastic part. comes with what was our optional drift screws. It comes with your body, Leroy, your personal body in there, the FT, which again is just a complete no-brainer. Optional lightened round brake discs, alloy servo mount as well, and then your recommendations on springs and
Pistons. Yep.
God, that was a lot to get out there. So that is what is included in the box. Build it up. It has all of those things in it. That's probably about 200 quid's worth of parts, basically, if you were to buy all of those bits and pieces together and put them onto your car. Included in the box. Obviously, the kit price is a little bit more expensive than the current standard car. We are still going to have the standard car available as well if you want to get into the brand. It's a fantastic product, slightly different price points, but it is heavily subsidised down. I think it's going to be about another £100 more on the retail price. And yes, we're going to do a conversion pack as well. So anybody that's got a 319 or a 319E, there is going to be the relevant conversion pack for you to be able to, if you like, upgrade your car. Thinking of the way that Tesla quite often do their things, and you buy a product that just gets better over time. We're trying to do similar things with our stuff as well. So we don't want to leave anybody out that bought into the brand, recently or anything like that. So there will be a performance pack that you can buy as well. There we go. That's quite big news.
Very big news. I'm really excited about this car. It's, as I say, it's just a combination of stuff we've learned over the past year, I would say.
Yeah.
There's lots of different parts out there. Always has been option parts, but these are the ones we think make a nice big difference, and you'll really feel the benefits of them. Whether it's from a maintenance point of view or it's from a performance point of view, we think this is great. The same as like even changing the springs that come in the kit. We think this is better for 90% of the people out there.
Yeah,
so it's what's going to come in the kit. So you don't have to worry about getting another spring for when you first build it. It's going to be awesome. I think it looks super dialed with the wing and the body and stuff. It's just a nice progression of what we already have. And before people go crazy, it's not a brand new kit. It literally is the same kit as what we use, just with niceties on it. So it's going to be dialed.
Yeah, 100%. We've had a history of doing similar things to this with the Gamma brand all the way through. We had like an FR Cup when we first had really got the A8, which is our original car, when we'd really got on top of that with everything that it really needed, and it was a race winner out of the box. And I think we're following suit with the 319 performance car. It really is quite something. You're going to absolutely love it. And like we've said, if you're an existing guy that's got one of these kits, whether it's the electrical nitro, you're going to have to buy all of those parts. We're heavily subsidising them so that we can make it so you haven't lost out by not having a performance kit. We're trying to look after everybody as much as we can as ever. And I think very excited. I hope to have all those things. We hope to have all those things listed tomorrow. They will be cruising their way over very shortly. We're just actually waiting for the chassis, the 7075 Swiss alloy chassis, to come back into the factory. Most of the other stuff is there. We've been busy working on this over the winter months, just in time for racing to start again. So super excited by that one. So good to get that one out early, Roy. We've been talking about it for quite a while.
Yeah, man, it's been coming for a while, and wicked to finally get it released and getting it in people's hands, because it is awesome. I think you'll really, really love it.
Good. There was one more thing. We're not quite ready for our one more thing, which is a one more very, very, very large thing in the world of Nemo. But the astute amongst you would have spotted that in some of those photos anyway. So I'd got a little picture that I thought I'd throw up anyway, because we were getting so close now. So this, hopefully, Leroy, when you tell me you can see it on your screen, we'll blabber about it a little bit more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll wait for it to pop its little head up. There's hopefully a few questions down the side on the a few of the P things and stuff like that, and people saying they like the first aid kit, and there's some stuff we'll answer shortly on other questions.
We'll get to it. We'll come. We're into question time very soon.
There we go. I can see the picture.
What's that?
It's a nice pit board.
Yes, indeed, exactly that. That's a fairly large news item for us. Obviously, coming into a new season, new bullet engine, completely new from top to bottom, materials, the lot. The only thing that's the same is it's 3-port, but apart from that, completely new. Lots of promo stuff we're going to be working on very shortly for that. So again, we'll cover it in its full glory once we've got all of that ready. But excited to get it up there and show. And as it was in the performance car photos that we had to do for the box artwork and stuff like that, I thought we'd just get it out there and show everybody. New engine coming, 225. Absolutely phenomenal performance, economy that will just make you smile because you're going to be doing less stops than other people. This is a big step. I think, engines have been pretty good now for a few years, depending, what you were running. There's lots of pretty good choices out there. And what we've seen with this over the last 6 or 7 months that we've been testing it is a big enough step to warrant a complete change of direction with Bullet as a brand. So you can read that if you want. It's impressive, really, really impressive. It's going to be coming part running as well, which is fantastic. So only a couple of tanks and it will be bedded down, ready to go. And yeah, just performance that is going to make you smile and an economy that's going to make the competition sad, I think. So very excited for that. We'll feature it a bit more, give it its full glory. We've got videos and stuff that we're planning to have done of that with our man Charlie Locke. If you're watching, I'll be in contact with you tomorrow. We'll get something penned in. So yeah, that's been an exciting week. New cars, new engines, first aid kits, option parts.
Flying, mate.
It's good, isn't it? Doesn't it feel good to have something to talk about?
It does. I mean, the show's flying past tonight. We're going to be at the end before we know it.
I like it. I'm ticking off my bits and pieces here. So I've got the questions with Martin, Mumble and Monkey. But before we head to that and find our favourite ginger man, I think we should do the ones on the side quick.
Yes.
Till midnight. What have we got?
So we got lots of people saying nice idea with a first aid kit. Then there was a few literal questions. Says one was Mr. Lichili says, like the top plate, wonder if using it with the alloy diff mounts would make the chassis too stiff in that area.
Shouldn't do, I don't think. I think with that top plate, you can just run the standard plastic one and have the benefits or most of the benefits of that metal piece for a relative fraction of the cost. I mean, I still love that metal center diff mount, so don't get me wrong, but horses for courses. If you want something that's a good upgrade without blowing the budget, that top plate will be the one.
Yep, agreed. Davey Rolls says, what pipe for the truck, OS or beta?
Beta.
Is power going to be needed for the lower percentage nitro?
No,
I mean, it's always beta on the truck and
beta on the truck. We've extensively today done testing on lower percent nitro fuel. It is, in our opinion, not an issue that's going to cause any big dramas for anybody. And we haven't even got into doing bits and pieces that we can do with shimming and all sorts of stuff yet. So yeah, no, not an issue.
Not an issue. Is this replacing a standard car or being marketed alongside the original? But we answered that, as Craig then said. Will you be able to get the gearing separately for e-buggy?
Yes.
Of course. Carbon brace joining the servos available. No, but it will be soon. Yeah, it will be soon, ultimately. That's just it's a little thing I've been doing. I made it myself, but it's quite a nice little piece. And now we have our own carbon fiber CNC. It just makes it an obvious choice.
Definitely.
Yayan, he says, sick paint scheme, bro.
Cheers, bro. All credits to Mr. Talbertini, who took my colours and made them modern.
Yeah, there you go. Olivia says, on the LMR body, the linkage is touching the body. Any ideas? Which linkage? I guess it's the throttle one. Maybe you need to cut it down, or mine doesn't touch,
or mine, or drop it underneath. We'll send you some pics, buddy. If we'll send you some pics.
Yeah.
How we got it.
Any ETA? I guess it's to do with a car for stateside for the US.
So it should be the same time as us, hopefully, if we've got everything worked out right. So yeah, same time.
Yep. Rumble is getting involved in the comments because he just couldn't
come in. We'll come into you. Put your clothes on.
He's answering the questions for me. Ivan Bingham says, will the new parts that came out today be on it? I was just deciphering. No.
Well,
Caster
they've been-
blocks are, right?
Yes. Yep. Caster blocks. They're on.
Caster blocks. Andy B got paid today and went to book in for Monday the 5th, but it's full. Is there a reserve list and can he put his name down?
Yes, sir. Get online. Fill in the notify me box that's above the bit that said sold out, and then we've got a reserve going, and we'll be doing our best to get everybody in if we can.
Yep. There we go. We're at the bottom.
Perfect. So that is perfect timing for me to find our map. Send that to that lovely chap there, and then we have to wait.
And we wait. And we wait.
So we've got some. I've got some questions from our team, and then I wrote down some of those bits and pieces that was spoken about. Are you going in the first aid box?
Just putting the leaflet back in my fancy little purse.
Look at that. I don't want to tempt it, but so far we're looking like we're not going to suddenly lose our broadcast.
Yeah, no, we're going.
And
while everyone's
the
waiting
end
for
of
Mr.
that.
Rumble, just give us a thumbs up. There's been 7 thumbs down tonight. There's not been people to hate us.
I'd like to know if that's because you're being helpful with the analytics, or whether that's because you just don't like us. I'd love to know.
I know, right? Yeah. There we go.
I feel like a mini Megan.
What can you do?
They're so mean.
So mean to
Give us
me.
the thumbs down.
It's probably Maliki.
Wanted to jump out the window.
Yeah, we're getting a few more thumbs up now. It makes me feel better. Like,
Good.
why would you want to upset me?
Why indeed? I actually didn't ask Mr. Rumble whether he could join us tonight, so it might not be convenient. I don't know, but Mr. Rumble, you must be watching because you were commenting. You've not read the link. Ah, there we go. He's just popped up. Just waiting for that lovely little cheeky smile to arrive. So Mr. Rumble is in waiting. Oh, he's the right way up now. He's going to throw us off. He looks different today. He's going live. About now. Mr. Rumble, good evening.
Afternoon, chaps. Afternoon, all. Lads, ladies, how are we all doing?
I actually can't see you. I'm trying a new thing on the iPad, but I can hear you, so that'll do.
All right. That is good news, to be fair. That's
how
the
are
important
we, Mr.
part.
Rumble?
Very good, very good.
You look like
Surviving.
you've just come back out from a night partying in Swansea.
I think I have. Feels
Good.
like.
You can't have done because you still got all your shirt together.
No, that is true. Well, you actually can't see the lower half. That's completely gone.
And we're quite happy with that. That's okay.
All
So-
right. Yeah, good.
Into question time with Martin, Mumble, and Monkey. I'm going to kick it off from the start. And this was actually directed for you, specifically.
Good luck.
You were singled out with this one, which was about the 17.5 degree alloy caster box. And the wording was, why the stark change from 16 degrees? Just curious as to how confident we are that 17.5 is the choice to have.
Yes. Well, obviously, it's been a.
Hold on. I love the way Rumble's getting asked. Who hasn't driven them?
No.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm a very
However,
wide
on the
reference
bench,
point here.
on the bench,
On the bench, yeah.
He
Bench
knows
this
it.
out, Rumble.
God,
He knows it.
I'm the bench racer. Is
Yeah.
that? Am I not bench world champion? I don't even know that.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
must be. Yeah.
I trust your opinion, mate.
Yes.
From what I've fool. So from what I've seen in my my about 13 weeks of doing RC, is that I think the 17.5 degree caster block. We obviously originally on the 215 platform, so Kingpin front end, we had 12 degree, 14 degree, 16 degree. And at that time, we also sort of kind of wanted to potentially look higher, maybe an 18 or a 20. That was then obviously clearly at a transitional period when we went from the 215 Kingpin platform to the SV, which obviously went to a C-Hub front end. And that was released with a 16 degree caster block as standard, 13 degree option, and a 19 degree option. Then we went to the 319, which had a 17.5 degree plastic caster block. That is just the best balance. You know, people wanted a 19 degree caster block, but they also like the standard 16 degree caster block.
So we could have
The halfway
summarised
house.
that with "is the best balance."
Yes, It's the best balance, but there's
Through
the history.
incarnations.
The
And the
history of
reason
caster
that we
blocks.
know it's the best balance is because we've had every other balance that you could possibly
Yeah.
ever want to try and test and understand.
Exactly. And for years, you know, we have had these caster blocks forever and a country day. So and obviously we've had them for a long time before being released.
Lovely. Thank you very much for that very concise answering of a 17.5 degree alloy caster block. The next question, Leroy. What's the advantages of running a link brace from the throttle servo to the center diff mount?
So I find that purely the brakes stay consistent. You know, say if a screw started working loose or your servo rubbers became loose during a run or anything like that, if you have that brace there, your brakes will always be the same. That's personally why I like it.
Perfect. I like it. It's a good option to have. I think we ran that extensively on the 319 before we had some of those option parts out, like the alloy servo mounts and even the alloy center diff, things like that. It's actually a really cheap thing to do as well, isn't it? To brace it up. So yeah, just helps keep it all nice and consistent when everything's getting hot and the center diff's at 300 degrees and the plastic's feeling a little bit sad for its life. Gives it some support.
Moral, if nothing else.
Indeed, this is going to be another one for Leroy because he's the man. He's the man with the talent on the fingers. That is what she said. Also, question for
And he's a good driver.
settings on the LMR rear hub and how do they affect the handling?
Yeah, what do you want to know?
I don't know. I don't want to know it. Somebody else needs to know it.
So we have gone over this a few times. We just need to do a video on it, I think. But
why don't we make that the next video?
We can do. But let's do a brief one quick because if they're watching, why not?
Yep.
So hub, if you have the hub down, so the pin is high in the hub, so literally you're lowering your axle, I find this gives you more rotation, more forward drive. With the hub raised up, you get less rotation, but the rear end is a bit more consistent to drive. It's generally better on like high-speed tracks or not tracks without hairpins.
Yep.
And then if you actually move it on the arm, which we did a tune it for the other day, I find it on the outside of the arm, you get it. It's a bit better through the bumps, but ultimately you get a little less side bite. Whereas if you move it on the inside of the arm, you'll just increase your grip, but it's a little bit more edgy to drive.
Yeah, agreed. And we'll do a video to give a full explanation because it is a great part that because it does give you some options. But equally, with options comes the ability to be able to lose yourself slightly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be a really good part to cover in full detail. So we'll get that done.
Yep.
Next one for Mr. Rumble. Given the current guidelines, providing nothing changes, when will Nemo be open for practice?
So Nemo will be open after the 29th of this month, 29th of March. We will be reopening. And with the same COVID-safe measures that were in place before the most recent lockdown, so masks at all times. We also, even though we've got masks, we are still deciding to implement social distancing measures above and beyond our legal guidelines or our legal requirements. Just because we can. It doesn't. Fortunately, we've got put in all of the systems in place to facilitate that. So we will use them moving forward. But yeah, to answer the question, after the 29th of March. And in terms of how to book that, which I think might be the next question. So yeah, okay. That's actually open online now. So if you head over to NemoRacing.com, go to the Nemo Raceway tab, where you also book in for the race meetings. You'll also notice there's a practice tab, so or a practice product. So you can go in there. It will give you all of the available dates, and you can book your practice automatically online.
Make sure you select after the 29th on the diary because it's not blanked out. Theoretically, you could go online now and book one for tomorrow, but unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to welcome you in. And also, point to remember as well, we didn't want to open this up because we didn't know when we could actually open up. A membership for 2021 is open to come and do the practices. You need to be a member or a Nemo team guy, or buy one of the kits and you get it all for free for a year, which is awesome value. But if not, You're absolutely welcome. We want everybody there. Pop yourself online. There's 2 options there. You've got the normal membership, and then you've got the family membership, both of which I think represent really good value for money that you can come and use it pretty much 6 days a week. We're not open on Monday, so get yourself a membership sorted, and then get yourself a practice slot booked in, and we'll be there to welcome you. Big smile.
And on the topic of the kit offer, obviously the kit offer is still active.
Yep,
and it's going to also then carry forward with the A319 and A319E performance buggies.
Yes.
So for all of those, potentially sort of waiting for that when the performance buggies are here, the offer is still continuing. So.
It is. So next question I have is underdrive gearing, Leroy. And this was something that came on the side. You said jot it down. We'll come back to it. I jotted it down, so now we're coming back to it.
We're here.
We're here.
So,
we're at that moment.
Underdrive, love it.
The end. Next.
Full stop.
I got back into the underdrive a bit at the back end of last year, having not really used it on the Gamma car, but I used to love using it back in the day. And I got back into it last year, end of last year, liked it. Today, am I allowed to say that?
Yep.
Ran it today, our track, while we were testing gearing, because we needed to test the new gearing as well with the underdrive, make sure it works. And it was just awesome. Like, absolutely love driving it. For me, what it does is when you come off the gas, it allows the car to steer. And when you get on it, you don't get too much of that craziness. I think it just takes a little bit of that away. The car still goes forward, still really nice to drive, and it was just great for me.
Yep, agree with all of those sentiments. I think
drive is a winner.
It's a fit and forget item, that, really, to be fair. And I think even more so, it looks like you're
from the bottle. What is it you're drinking, you nutter? First off, that's terrifying.
That's the 7% coming through right there.
God, yeah,
we
you
were sipping nicely with a
15
pinky out
minutes
to start with, and now we're deep throating the.
Yeah, good lord.
This is why you don't drink alcohol if anybody is underage watching this. Just don't.
Yeah, it's good. It's to be like me. I don't drink.
Yeah,
I don't.
exactly.
I'm too
Exactly.
sober.
So yeah, I was saying that with the underdrive, it's a fit and forget item, isn't it? At the end of the day, you just throw it in the car. It's always going to help you. It's never going to be a hindrance, really.
Yeah.
The only time I ever felt weird with an underdrive was at Neo Buggy.
Okay.
And I think underdrive can be a bit strange sometimes when you're at a track with a lot of off-camber corners, because Neo used to chuck in loads of off-camber stuff, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think that's the only time it's a bit weird, because when you're trying to get on the gas, they obviously pull at different rates, and I think it can make the car fall down and stuff like that. So that's the only time I would ever really, consider taking it out.
And just on John's point about it being a fit and forget item, is that obviously for our previous generation of gearing, we also had an underdrive, and we used it all the time. For John's buggy, there was never a time the underdrive was not in.
No.
Because of the ratios that we used previously, it meant that we used a 40-tooth crown gear, but then a 9-tooth pinion, so a really quite a small pinion. So sometimes we may then, at times, longevity could suffer with that. The new one, no problem. We are blessed, absolutely blessed with the 12s and the 13s and 11s that we've got now moving forward. So amazing.
Driving styles. I've got driving styles change written down in my shorthand secretarial note taking.
John Hazelwood, no change.
Yes.
Lit.
Yes, exactly. Driving styles.
You can.
They were shit 10 years ago, and they're still shit now. No. I actually don't think there is. I think you end up driving what you've got. I think if you go back long enough, the cars weighed a metric ton. The engines didn't pull very hard. They stopped every 5 minutes. You had to drive them aggressively all of the time just to get the things moving. I think that's possibly why some of the older guys struggle a little bit with the newer generation cars and engines that have just got so much power and so much performance. I was liking it to, having 1,000 horsepower road car, and you get in it and you just put your foot straight to the floor. You don't try and feather it in, and that's what we kind of all do us old boys when we're driving an RC car, and then wonder why it sometimes feels a little bit loose when you've got all of that power to weight ratio that we have in our scale. But in general, I think I've always seen if guys have come from 10th scale, they have a smoother style. I think I saw it 15 years ago. I still see exactly the same thing now. Actually, I don't. Not quite exactly the same thing. The newer generation, the Tommy Halls and the guys that were very young, I think the two-wheel drives are so good now compared to what they were that you could drive them so much harder than you used to. Do you think that's a fair comment, Leroy? Like even going back 8 or 9 years ago with a two-wheel drive, you'd never drive it like you can drive a two-wheel drive now.
No, and the whole a lot of the finesse has come out.
Yeah, I would agree. Actually, thinking about it more,
and a lot of, I mean, not including Tommy here because I'm sure he does a lot, but a lot of guys don't actually go out and race in the rain and stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Which used to be like two-wheel drive, wet Astro was hard as hell. You needed throttle control, you needed a lot of stuff. Now everyone just goes indoors when it rains.
I still sometimes, when I'm having a bad day, I still think of that wet day coming to your track when I didn't know you, trying to run a two-wheel drive for the first time ever on AstroTurf.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I used to spin out at the end of the straight. I thought, I am really shit. This is embarrassing. I could win races in 8 scale, and I can't even go down the straight. I won't be doing this.
Not so straight.
Yeah, and you didn't do it for very long.
No, exactly. That was. We'll put that on the shelf. It looks nice over there. Yeah, but I mean, in general, I think the driving styles, you either got it or you haven't, and I think you just tune yourself to what you've got underneath you. So, 8 scale guys tend to be a bit hard, don't they? I think like the Elliots and stuff.
Yeah,
go a bit harder.
And we got a nice question from Sean at Option RC has come in kind of regarding this.
Okay.
So he says, given us both, obviously Mark's not really doing much behind his sticks, but given myself and you, John, we drive differently set up cars. John's car generally being calmer, my car generally having more steering and more responsive.
Yeah.
How does this translate to driving the track? Let us know how you both personally go into a corner. Is your braking zone different, late, early, on and off power through the turn?
I generally just think of cold trickle when I'm going into a hard turn and just think, keep it pinned, stay away from the smoke, head for the outside and see what happens. That's my style. You know my style. It's always a bit hairy. It's always looking like it's possibly going to be a crash or a takeout. And it normally is every third lap. Leroy's is a pleasure actually to watch going around the track because it always just looks. He looks like the swan. He looks like the swan going round. It's never out.
Gives me much less anxiety to witness it.
Exactly. And
John, on the other
well.
hand, is just a heart attack.
It is funny because earlier, obviously, we were testing something, and the decibel change from yours to mine was very amusing for me. I'm like, I feel like I'm not making any noise. And there's yours going, wah, wah. So basically, you're the reason for the council complaints.
I think if John, if a nitro
single-handedly, no doubt,
on a 1 minute lap does 30,000 RPM, 40,000 RPM in Lee's hands, John's, it is doing 80,000 minimum. He is,
and it's all worthless because Leroy's faster. So the answer is
sometimes
be smooth and keep that motion going and all that sort of stuff. You know, that's where lap time comes from, and inherently it's a style that leads to less errors as well. That's one of the biggest things. I mean, we saw it, I think, a little bit with Johnny and stuff when he was with us coming through. It's exciting, that aggressive style. Even with Elliot, if I think back, actually, he was so fast, so soft, but you kind of always knew at some point it was going to end up in a fairly crash, and it took him a little while to, blend it together to have that aggressive, controlled style, and that's really hard to do. Really, really hard to do. And obviously, when you get it worked out, you go and win lots of, and that's what happens.
I think to answer Sean's question on how we go into a corner different, I think I let the car roll a lot more than you do. I think you force the issue like a bit harder on the brakes, maybe not harder on the brakes, but braking more when the car's turned rather than me braking in a straight line.
I think I ask a lot of the front end of my car. So I really throw it. I drive it like it's a Renault Formula One car from 2004, 2005, where you just throw everything at it, and then hopefully that scrubs a bit of the speed off because I don't run much brake so that I can wipe other people out. and then once it's done that initial bit, try and fix it quite early. So yeah, I'm definitely not a YouTube star, mine, that's for sure. Whereas Leroy, you
Exciting.
really roll it in. You can hear it as well, and
Yeah.
and the engine says thank you very much. He's driving me now, and
Yeah, but it instantly
two more minutes of
rippens
running.
up.
Yeah, exactly. So we can lean it out now. Yeah, exactly. So very, very different, Sean. And Sean, I think your style is a possible. Yeah, it's possible to be a bit of a mix of the two of that. I've seen both come out of you. So if you keep at it, I think you could be pretty good.
Yep.
He's in the right place.
Exactly. I've got written down Matt Bentley, and you said right, Matt Bentley, and I'll know what it was. And
Yeah. So he said, why is there no like dominant world champion? Because obviously we've seen Lewis, and he's won multiple world championships year after year. Why doesn't it happen in 8 scale or 10 scale for that matter?
Yeah, I think that's a great question.
I think, let's be honest now, I mean, amazing driver, of course, but most of the time only racing one person.
Yep.
Said teammate in equal machinery. Whereas we have multiple people all over the world that run the same machinery. It's not like we can go and buy an F1 Merc and go race Lewis.
Yeah. No. That is true. I think as well, our competition, like you're alluding to there, really, there's a lot of good products on the market, and so there isn't one yet. Hopefully, we're working on making one, but there isn't one dominant platform that is clearly in a different realm to what other people have access to. Which I think in one that happens, whether it's Lewis or whether it's Red Bull times when they're at the front, or any of them through the history. At the end of the day, the cream rise to the top, but normally as well, those good drivers get into the right cars as well, and then it's like you're saying, Leroy, they're racing 2 or 3 people. Not we turn up at a world, and really, there's probably 20, 25 people that could probably win that if everything went right for them. They've got the talent, they've got the speed, they just need to make sure the setup's right and they've chosen the right tyres and all those other bits and pieces. So I think it's so much harder with what we do to get all of those elements stacked up right on that particular day. And then you've got 2 years until if it's a world, you've got 2 years until you get to go and do it all again and try and figure all of those things out all again and hopefully not have made the wrong decisions chasing the money and moved on to a brand that's not as good and all those other things that go on. So very hard to be dominant in RC, I think, for a period of time. You and Neil in electric obviously make that sound rubbish what I've just said, because you two win everything every year.
But not when we go internationally so much.
No, I guess not. I think some of that is because if you and Neil raced on dirt week in, week out in the UK, I believe that we would probably see some similar results to that when you go to these worlds and stuff. But that's not the case, is it? At the end of the day, you race on a surface 95% of the time. That's irrelevant when you go to that one meeting that everybody else races on all of the time. So it's a bit unfair, I think, in that regard. But certainly on a European level, you guys are doing everything all the time, don't you?
I think the thing about Formula One is that it's so measured. You can go to a track that you raced at, or these Formula One guys go to a track that they raced at last year. They put the setup on. They know what the conditions are going to be. There are no inconsistencies in anything in their package whatsoever. Because they're all in a way on sort of a similar level playing field because of how consistent the things are. But with 8 scale,
there's a lot going on that changes very often in 8 scale. I think that's why we all love it as well, to be fair. I think it's pretty cool that you go to these races and genuinely you don't really know. You can pick a selection, you don't really know who's going to win it. You've got to wait and see what happens at the end of practice and then qualifying, and then it changes invariably for the finals because suddenly someone on an APA or a 6 mix has got a tyre that works better than everybody else, and loads of variables. That's why we love it.
And people, there are some people that can hold it together for 7 minutes, 8 minutes in a quali, but then 45-minute final, it's not so glorious. So
exactly, that is my last tick done on my side. So Leroy, we're down to you on the sides for any further stuff.
So I'm just looking. Nathan Allen said, John, you once said Go engines were the bollocks.
I did, and yeah, I did. I was trying to help out someone that was very dear to me at that time, who was importing those engines, and they were good little engines, and they were the bollocks.
Darl Will says, "Cheers, Craig. I've only raced 10." He's talking must be talking to someone else. Ben Johannesson, he says, "Why not me and Nathan Allen in Sideways Rain?" Not sure where this is going. You have to bear with me here a minute. Craig Homer says, "Darwell, you'll find ape scale enjoyable."
Yep. That's a good gig.
Love for our answers. Craig Homer says, "Who cares about F1?"
Agreed. Me, but agreed.
I do. Me too. Andy B, Formula One has 4 different tyre choices. We have 40 plus.
Yes.
Tony Bloomfield said Darren won a world's warm-up.
He did.
Yeah, me too.
If we could have kept your man motivated, he would have won many more things than a world's warm-up.
Lyndon Hammer says, "Oh no, he wasn't."
I think they might be watching the Meghan and Harry interview.
Yeah,
I also saw Craig say something about no dogging as well, so I presume that was probably for the Meghan and Harry interview as well.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, I'm at the bottom, so there we go.
At the bottom. Wow, there we go. Look at that. The streams lasted. I think we might have worked it out. It's taken a lockdown. It's taken a year. But we might have worked. We managed to get everybody talking to each other, all the pictures up, played a video, and we've not been kicked yet.
And we got a purse.
And we've got a purse to carry
our stuff and still be tough.
Still look tough.
We want to see that in various places around Newbury when the pubs reopen.
I am going to carry it around like that. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with
Your
it.
attaché.
Yeah.
I like it. So we should probably quit while we're ahead. We've probably tortured for people long enough, I reckon.
We have.
What have we got coming up in the next week? What's going on?
I'll tell you what we haven't spoke about, which probably should.
Yes.
Obviously, we did get to race this weekend, but it was in Texas.
Good Lord, how the heaven did we miss that one on my news list? Yes, we did. There was a very big race, 388, the largest they've ever had. The Lone Star Challenge, I think it was, at Thornhill. We were there as Nemo USA. We've seen some bits and pieces up over the weekend. Don't think we've managed to get the finishing thing up yet, but we will do. Our first race, really, where we had the team as such in action, our 2021 team. So we had, obviously, Brandon Rose, Jake French, joined by lots of other great guys that run our stuff over there. And the first proper showing for Brock as well, with our stuff. And so, yeah, he headed into it with a big challenge. He's not done very much with the car yet. Stacked meeting. It's fantastic to see these races going on with 380 plus people. I couldn't believe they only had 2 rounds of qualifying. I saw, and we had a bit of party actually for anyone that was watching on into round 2 of that qualifying in the pro class, and we're actually having a 1-2 to be 1-2 to the last lap. And both of them had a humongously large drama on their last lap. So instead of having a 1-2, qualified with a 5-6, still very good. And in the e-buggy class, I think Brandon TQ'd round 1, was slightly slower in round 2, so ended up lining up second. Brock was 5th, I think. We had Jake French in both those finals. We had Steve Harris in both those finals. In fact, Steve Harris was on TQ in that last Nitro round as well. So watching it live, whatever ridiculous time it was, I was so excited to see. We'd got 4 or 5 cars in the show, if you like, and it was looking like we were going to have a 1-2 or 2-3 at one point in qualifying, and we didn't end up with that. Finals day did not go our way. We definitely had one. We had a bit of a stinker. So, like I said, we had 4 cars into the pro buggy main final. We weren't racing trucks when we were doing the pro buggy stuff in Nitro. Steve Harris didn't make the start. He had an issue in warm-up, that was a shame. So that was him out. I think Brock had his clutch bell screw fall out within 3 laps or 2 laps. So that was another one of our big ponies that we were backing out. And Brandon had a cut off the line, so had to work his way back to 14th, which he was very busy, merrily doing. But I think possibly couldn't get himself settled down a little bit from the disappointment of having the stall on the line, and we got back up to fourth. He was only 10 seconds away from second and closing at an alarming rate. But unfortunately, we had a few bobbles along the way. So I think we ended up with a sixth. We just missed their podium, which is the top five, which was absolutely not a true reflection of what the guys had put together over the weekend there. So that's racing. That's the way it goes.
Scale.
It's a bit of a stinker. Could have been great. I think Brandon had the quickest lap over Tyler by half a second in the final, which is, on a 34-second lap is a huge margin. I'm super excited for Brandon. I mean, we don't get to talk about those guys very much, but he's 16 years old. Clearly, if he keeps at it, he's going to be quite something. Because, like Tyler Jones is on form at the moment, isn't he? We were talking about it earlier on. He could turn up to any race right now. Obviously, with us last year, couldn't afford to keep him because other teams have a bigger budget than us, unfortunately. But he was up there and challenging the Tebows and the Mayfields and stuff. Those last couple of races he was at, I think we had a podium with him, didn't we? Just before he left us to go elsewhere. And so it's great to have him at those sort of races. He's a known thing now. Now he's a pro driver and doing it for a living and all that sort of stuff. I think it's great to see us performing against that level with a very young team. Brock included, I think. He's clearly another super talent. The guy stayed on and tested again today. Got down to some wild lap times. 33.1, I think he said to me, was the quickest that Brock got down to, which is, like a second quicker really than what the guys that were winning the race managed to do. So super pumped for that, and I think Brock was like pumped with his equipment after that. You know what it's like when you go and do, or you had an experience today, Leroy, you go and do some lap times, you think, wow, that's over and above what I was expecting, and I think that's what Brock was experiencing today. So early days, new partnerships, all exciting, super young team once again that we've got in the States. So yeah, great race. Didn't quite go our way. We came away with a sixth with a highlight, I think. Not quite. What did Brandon get in e-buggy? Did you see that?
Yeah, podium debuggy.
Yeah, third.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
But that was the takeaway from the weekend,
That was the takeaway,
which is sad. But
must have been eating the takeaway when that was going on. I missed
that was
that.
definitely a Chinese takeaway.
Yeah.
But that's how it is. It's like it arcs back to the world championship question, doesn't it?
It does. I tell you what's
Scale is tough.
exciting for us in the States is we've only really ever had a pony, and fast we've got multiple ponies at these races with Steve Harris, with Jake French, with Brandon, with now Brock as well. That's arguably the strongest that we've ever been there, and I'm sure if we keep plugging away at it, we're gonna see some results. We all know we've got a fantastic car that, given the right set of circumstance, it is more than capable of winning big races with everybody else. So I think that's exciting. And I actually can't wait for us all to get out to Texas and go and see the track that Billy's done in HQ over there, and in some of these races, and go to Thornhill. That's awesome. That's my personal aspiration for Nemo to do what they've done there. It's absolutely awesome facility. It's gone quiet.
Agreed.
Billy was doing a good, really good job at the weekend, trying to, juggle everything himself. So we were, it's a tough job. It's a big race, lots of guys. He had lots of guys to support there, which is good. That is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Billy was doing a good job over the weekend, buddy.
Good job, Billy Bob. Right, I think it's time for Leroy to take us away so that I can go and have a wee. I've actually managed another takeaway from this show. I've managed to do a stream without having a stream.
That is a miracle, John.
Very well.
It is actually the miracle of tenor pants. I've got to be honest.
Tenor lady.
Yeah, he's actually just wetted himself 8 times.
It's quite an experience. I've got to say, I like it.
Warm.
Momentarily, and then disappointingly cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always
And
happens
then
when you
the
pay
breaks. Right, go on, let's go. We've tortured these people enough.
So on our sign out, we're going to do a nice message from Andy B, who's left us something lovely. He says, before you sign off, thanks guys for taking the time to do this each and every Monday and keeping us all reasonably sane and hungry for racing again.
Thank you, buddy. That's the idea of it. It was Leroy's idea back in lockdown, so this is all on him. And yeah, sometimes it feels hard to do because there's not been too much to talk about, and we ramble on about random crap sometimes. But thank you, that sort of stuff definitely makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, it does, and it's amazing. Now we're almost up to a year of doing this weekly.
That's wild, isn't it?
Unbelievable, Jeff.
We were a bit sketchy in the beginning, like should we do
Yes.
one, should we do one? It was a bit all over the place, but we've been pretty consistent, to be fair.
Yeah, now it's just a given, isn't it? At 8:30, we're doing
got there.
And
Good.
it's funny how even when we go into it, obviously we'll speak to what should we talk about on the live, blah blah blah, and then somehow we manage to pack a show out. Whether we've got, today we had 2 pretty exciting bits.
Yeah,
of news,
exactly.
but
Just
it
what I was
doesn't
gonna
really
say.
feel more packed out than when we've got no news. It's nice to just check in with everyone. I think in these times it is so critical to just check up on people.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
if we can provide any entertainment, to the public, to people that are our lovers and haters,
We love them
great.
all equally.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
we cannot wait to have a COVID cuddle coming soon. We're
Coming
counting down the weeks. We should actually do a countdown. We should have a timer going across the thing. How many sleeps are left? Because we're getting closer, aren't we? On 8th of March. We're under 4 weeks, so that's exciting.
It is
Not
awesome.
long now.
So
Take it away, Leroy.
take it away. So thanks, guys, for watching. Of course, as normal. If you want to come and do our race and you haven't got an entry in yet, if there's no spots available in your preferred class, just go onto the page and sign up for the when it's back in stock. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yes.
Do an out of stock request.
Out of
Just
stock
pop your
request. There
email
you go.
in.
I knew Rumble would know. So yeah, apart from that, give us a thumbs up. Why not? We've had too many thumbs down tonight, so we don't need any more of them. Thank you for the analytics, though. Go subscribe if you haven't already. I'm pretty sure you must have had by now. Keep an eye on the Facebook this week. We'll be telling you who else is booked into our race. A few more releases and a few more team releases, with including the massive French team we've got to do. There we go. So
Perfect.
thanks very much, guys. Remember about the deal. There's a big deal. A Gamma
Deal.
A319E or A215T. If you purchase it, you get the track free to use for 1 whole year. 12 months.
Whatever you want.
Free practice. Doesn't include racing, but anytime you want to come and use it, you get to use it for free. I mean, no better deal.
What more could you want? You could want a lunch date with Rumble, and you get one of them free as well. If he's there, he'll take
You get one free. And I heard he'll even bring the pork scratchings.
Oh, they were rotten.
Only the soft ones.
Yeah, only the soft pig
on that
bottom
bombshell.
ones.
Shall we go?
On that pig bottom bombshell, we are out of here.
We'll hopefully see you next week.